right, today we're covering an insider's look at American cruise lines, okay? And your hosts today are me, Ted Karbowski, president of cruisinwithted.com. And today we also have the opportunity to hear from Cindy Christen, business development manager for American Cruise Lines. Take it away, Cindy.
Okay, let me share my screen here.
I'll stop mine. Okay.
And thank you for joining us to learn more about American Cruise Lines. Again, my name's Cindy Christen. I'm here with American Cruise Lines. I've been with the company for a little over 7 years, and I've seen the tremendous growth in cruising in the United States. It's a great way to experience all the beautiful, unique places in our country. So today we're going to explore the USA, the American Cruise Line way. And let me get my things going here. So I want to start off with just giving you a little bit of background about who American Cruise Line is. Some of you may know who we are. Maybe you've traveled with us before. But for those of you that do not, we are a family-owned business. We've been around over 50 years. We're owned by one family, the Robertson family, which is based out of Guilford, Connecticut. And we're very, very fortunate because in addition to owning the cruise line, we also own our own shipyard where we build all of our ships. And that is the Chesapeake Shipbuilding Yard. It's located in Salisbury, Maryland. Right now, we've been building about 3 ships a year. So we're very, very busy in the shipyard. Another great feature here with American Cruise Line is the fact that 90% of Americans can drive to our ports. So for those of you that do not like to fly, this would be a great option. So also, we are an American company. Our ships are all built here in the U.S. They are all U.S. flagged, and our ships are all American crewed as well. So that means when you step on board, you're going to get a true all-American experience. And we continue to elevate the domestic small ship cruising by building new ships and creating new itineraries. So next, I want to talk about our itineraries. We do have over 50 different types of itineraries, different ports and so forth. So most popular, of course, is our lower Mississippi, which you would start that in New Orleans or Memphis. We also do the upper Mississippi from St. Louis to Minneapolis. You can do the entire Mississippi on a 14 or 21 night itinerary, going from New Orleans all the way to Minneapolis or reverse. We also do the tributaries of the Mississippi. We do the Ohio River from St. Louis to Pittsburgh. We also do the Tennessee River, Chattanooga to Nashville. And then we do a really nice Music City cruise that goes from Nashville to Memphis. And that actually touches on the Cumberland River, the Ohio River, and the Mississippi River. Moving out to the Pacific Northwest, we've got the beautiful Columbian Snake that we operate out of Portland, Oregon to Clarkston, Washington, or reverse. And then we have all the coastal products. So we do Maine, New England, the Hudson, Chesapeake Bay. We do a beautiful Southeast U.S., Southeast Island itinerary out of Amelia Island to Charleston, or reverse. We do the Great Rivers of Florida out of Jacksonville. We also do the Florida Keys out of St. Petersburg. And then moving back out to the Pacific Northwest, we also do Puget Sound, San Juan Islands out of Seattle, and we do Alaska. We actually have 5 different itineraries in Alaska that we do. So great stuff. Just want to highlight a few things. One of the things that we started doing several years ago was the national parks, and we combine these with some of our itineraries. So if you're doing the Columbian Snake, you can do our national park program, which includes Yellowstone's, Grand Tetons, and Glacier National Park. With that, and that's a 7-night park package with the cruise. We also do the Smoky Mountains. We do those with the Tennessee River program, and then we do the Alaska National Parks. We do both Denali and Kenai Fjords and Glacier National Park, and we are the only ones that can do all of the parks in one program. I want to highlight our American Revolution cruise. This is an 11-day, 10-night program. It goes out of round trip Washington, D.C. And when the ship came in, started operating out of Washington, D.C. 2 years ago, it was the first time they had a passenger ship there in over 70 years. So it's really quite nice. It's a very historical itinerary. And we also do, during cherry blossom time, we also have a special themed cruise that we do on our American Revolution program. We have our main coast and harbors. We have modified this a little bit. We were going round trip Portland, Maine, but now we do directional Portland, Maine to Bangor reverse. So that allows us more time in the ports. This is that Southeast Seas Island itinerary. I absolutely love this. Along down the coastline, you can start in Charleston or Amelia Island, but you can see we're stopping in Beaufort and Savannah and St. Simons and Jekyll Island. Just really a great itinerary. And we do operate this on our catamarans. And this year, should I say, we will be operating on those new Patriot class ships. There's our Florida Gulf Coast and Keys, and we actually started this last year. It's round trip St. Petersburg. We do this on the catamarans as well. And of course, it operates about through the middle of February. This is a new program for us this year, the Potomac River and Chesapeake Bay from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore, or reverse. We also started the Mississippi Explorer, which is a nice combination on the Mississippi, giving you a little bit more time with an 11-night, 12-day program. New Orleans, Memphis, always Mississippi does not disappoint. It's one of our most popular. You'll see the Vicksburg Military National Park, Baton Rouge, all the beautiful antebellum homes, just a lot of history, of course. And there's a lot of history with all of these itineraries. These are the ports that you will be visiting on that itinerary. So it's good. You see that we're in a port pretty much every day. So when we step on board, you're going to find that our ships are very nice. They have very comfortable accommodations. We have very large staterooms, and they're spacious on an average of 325 square feet. We do also have single staterooms as well that are priced at single rates. This is actually one of the suites, so you can see how large they are. And now we're in the River Lounge, one of the many lounges on board our ships. We do not have swimming pools. We do have a lot of lounges. We have open seating dining for dining. Our main dining room can accommodate all our guests at one time. The open seating dining means that you can come in during the open dining period. So if it starts at 5:30 to 8 o'clock, then you should be in the dining room between those times, and you can sit with whomever you like. So that is what open seat dining means. And we have wonderful food for you there. We have a lot of choices of your entrees. We do locally sourced cuisine. We bring on the fresh meats, fish, fruits, vegetables. We have large portions, great food for you. This is the Ellipse Cafe, which is another dining area. We do not have this on every ship, but our modern boats do have this, and our catamarans have it. The new Patriot class has it. One of our larger coastals does as well. So it's just a separate little dining area if you want to dine outside. They have hamburgers, hot dogs, ice cream, pizza, that kind of thing. We do have first class entertainment for you there. We have local performers, dancers, musicians, comedians. They come on board and entertain. And we always do that right after dinner. And we also have our onboard historians, and these are great. These people are very, very knowledgeable, and they're there to bring these destinations to life. And so I will say that every place we stop has some significance in history. And overall, you know that a river cruise or a cruise here with us is really a history lesson. There's a lot of cultural experiences, but a lot of history to learn. It can be a very humbling experience. This is another peek on the ship, the Sky Lounge. Again, we've got a lot of lounges just for you to relax and enjoy. And we have a lot of scenic viewing spots too. So this is here on the top of one of the modern river boats. All the ships have a walking path. And of course, we've got plenty of lounge chairs for you to sit and relax and enjoy the ever-changing scenery. So what do we include in our programs? We do include top shelf cocktails available for you throughout the day. We have locally sourced cuisine, as I mentioned earlier. We have the onboard entertainment and the enrichment programs with our historians. Most all the ships also have self-service laundromats on them too, which is nice if you're doing one of the longer itineraries, or even if not, it's there for you. We have library with computer stations. We do include Wi-Fi by Starlink as well, and we do include the gratuities on board for the crew. It's all packaged in your pricing. These are just a few pictures. I put together a collage. This is one of the travel advisors, that Shelley, that works with Ted. She was just recently on our Colombian snake itinerary, really enjoyed it. She was on the American Pride, one of our river boats out on the Colombian snake. And so she wasn't able to be here with us today, but I know she wanted to share some of her experiences. So I just put a few of her pictures in here. So let's talk about the guest experiences. So, you know, we do have a lot of different tours that we offer. We have a lot of cultural tours, but we also have a lot of active, unique tours as well. And when we go out on the tours, we have our own motor coaches, as you see. They have our logos on the motor coaches. They're all new, state of the art, and they actually follow the ship. So they're there to take our guests out on the tours. And right now we do use these motor coaches on our river programs, the Colombian Snake, all our Mississippi programs. We use them on our Southeast Seas Island itineraries, our Florida itineraries, I'll have them too. So there are some of the ports that we can, of course, use these motor coaches when we're up in Martha's Vineyard or Block Island, these places. We cannot use these motor coaches, but where we can, we do have them, and they're very nice. I mentioned briefly about the shore excursions. As I said, we do have a lot of history and cultural shore excursions, and that's what makes it so fun, learning all the history. But we also do have a lot of active programs. We have biking, hiking, kayaking, segways. We have brewery tours, distillery tours. We have ghost tours, swamp tours, cooking classes. We have all kinds of tours. There's really so many things that you can experience with us. So how we work our shore excursions is we have our featured, which are those that are included in the program. We have our premium that run up to $95. And then we have our signature ones. These are ones like the jet boat tour through Hell Canyon. If you're out on the Colombian Snake, those must be booked ahead of time, and they vary in price. So 60 days before, you can book your tours. We do include a featured tour, a featured excursion that's hosted by a local guide. Those are included on our Mississippi programs, our Colombian Snake programs, and our Alaska. That means we include a tour every day that's hosted by a local guide. On the coastal programs, we may include some tours, but not every day. And that's where you would book the premium or the signature tours. That was just a few of a short synopsis of some of the tours and some of the things that you see. It's surprising how many beautiful things and how much history we have here in our own country to explore. So we do also include a pre-cruise package, which is a one-night hotel stay at a centrally located hotel and a transfer to the ship the morning of embarkation. And that's included on our Colombian snake programs, our Mississippi programs, and our Alaska itineraries. I will tell you that even if we do not include the pre-hotel stay, then I would always come in the day before. I know that Ted and his agents would book you in the day before. All of our ships leave at 1:30. So we don't want to chance it that you're not there where you should be prior to getting on the ship, of course. We do offer domestic airfare, which you can purchase your air from us. And we do offer flat rates of $4.95 round trip. That applies on all of our programs, except Alaska, which is $7.95 round trip. So that's good pricing. And then you'll find sometimes we do have promotions where we have complimentary air and maybe discounts on the cabin. So of course, we'll always check what is best for you and price-wise and make sure you get the best deal. Ted? So also want to mention our sister company at American. We stay strictly in the United States. We don't leave the U.S. waterways. That's where our sister company comes in, which is Pearl Seas Cruises. She is one coastal ship of 200 guests. And what's great about Pearl is her beautiful itineraries. And that would be itineraries like the Canadian Maritimes and St. Lawrence Seaway, which is a 16-day, 15-night out of Portland, Maine to Toronto or reverse. We also do the Canada and the New England Fall Foliage out of Quebec to Portland, Maine or reverse. And very popular is our 11-night Great Lakes and Georgian Bay that we do out of Toronto to Milwaukee. You can see that we do go to Mackinac Island, and we also visit Niagara Falls, which are two big highlights. We do have a shorter version of that itinerary. It's a 7 nights. It does visit those to Mackinac and Niagara Falls as well, but it cuts out a couple other ports. And then we have an itinerary that our Great Lakes Explorer that we actually introduced last year. And that's a 12-day, 11-night program. So these are all really, really, really popular itineraries, one of a kind. We do have one that combines the St. Lawrence Seaway and the Great Lakes as well, which is a very nice itinerary. And that sums it up for our Pearl. So that's just a quick little showing of what we have to offer. We've got a lot more to tell you if you want to call Ted and talk to him more about what different programs you may be interested in. But I do have a show special for you coming and listening to me today. We do have a $600 per cabin. That's a discount if you book by January 23rd. So you can book into 26 or 27. We already have our schedules open for you to book into those far out. And if you do, you can get the $600 per cabin. If you find that there is a promotion already on a date that you're interested in, you can use that promotion or this promotion, one or the other, but we don't allow you to combine the offers. So either way, you will get some kind of special deal. So I want to thank you for your time today, and we'll continue to drive to share America's stories on the finest American ships. Back to you, Ted.
I want to tell you a little bit more about myself. Since the turn of the century, we have successfully assisted tens of thousands of discerning travelers just like you. We offer insider access to travel deals on all major vendors. And we are here to satisfy your needs. And, we've been, like I said, we've been doing this a lot. We have a lot of insider knowledge, all the different vendors. We have great relationships with people like Christen. Today, lots of assistance. So if you're working with me, you're in good hands. All right, let's talk more. Okay, now what I want to do is, Shelley, are you here? Shelley's
Yes,
one of my colleagues.
I am here.
Tell us about your experience here, what this is about, anything you'd like to say, and try to zip it through a little bit because there's a lot of slides to show. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you're just on the main slide, which is showing the American Pride in the Columbia River. So if you want to advance, there we go. Okay, so this is our pre-cruise hotel, which is a really amazing location for this hotel. When you pull into the hotel, we got to our room and we looked out our back window and there's the ship. So that was really amazing. It's actually really, really nice inside, and you couldn't have a better spot. You just walk right there, right down this little sidewalk, and you're right on the ship that quickly. This is a view driving in on the right. Sorry?
Oh, no, go ahead.
That's just the view driving in. I drove over from Montana. It's about 5 hours. I didn't have to fly, and so I got to see some really pretty view coming into Clarkston.
It looks beautiful, actually, just driving there.
It is. It's a nice drive.
And that's you and your husband, John?
That's me and John getting on board. We're in cabin 109. This is the water view cabin. It's really big. I was surprised by that when I walked in. It's very spacious. The bathroom is spacious. You couldn't have a better cabin as far as space wise, and that window does open, and so you can see out and look at the river.
It looks pretty spacious for a river cruise to me.
Yes.
You've been on other cruises, so they don't cheat you on giving you some nice ample space to live on the cruise, right?
Yes. River lounge. There's a lot of different lounges on the ship, places for people to space out and have different views, and just to be able to have space to get together without being all in one place, which was nice. Paddle lounge. This is on the back of the ship, so you can also go outside and see the paddle wheel from the level just above here, which was neat. I'm sure it was probably in Cindy's presentation. We took a little video of watching that move, so it feels very authentic. It's a fun view. This is the study, which became my office on board because I was working while I was traveling. It was very quiet. As you can see, so much space, surprisingly, in all of these locations. And I maybe had one or two other people ever walk in during the week while I was there. Laundry room. Room's funny. As you can see on the right, the washer and dryer are just like 3 inches from when you open the door. So that was funny when I opened that. But this is complimentary, and you're up on the top deck, and so you can do your laundry and you just walk 5 feet away and you have a view and fresh air, and so it's a really nice place. You're not stuck somewhere in the bottom of the ship with no view and no fresh air. So that was a plus. And there is an elevator. The one on the picture on the left is showing you the depth of one of the locks that we were going through. They had a little measure there that you could see. And on the right, I think that's the beginning of the Cultural Institute in Pendleton, where they had a lot of pictures of old things that were there from before, which there's some kind of fun pictures coming up here.
So we're looking here.
This is an underground tour that we did in Pendleton. The Shamrock card room is outside, and then this is after you come inside. You can see various rooms of ill repute in this tour.
Was this included or this cost extra?
This was an included tour.
So you didn't have to pay for that?
No.
That's amazing that they have tours like that. So
yeah,
it's really an all-inclusive cruise line, isn't it?
Yeah, there were tours available that cost a little extra, but even ones that we paid for, like we did a walking tour in Astoria, it was very affordable, like $25. So nice. Yes, just more pictures from that tour.
Okay, what happens if you go into door 17?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Working Girls Hotel. I'm not sure what that means. So
yeah.
If anybody has tried that, put in the chat. Let me know what you found in there.
This is just some of the scenery going down the river. There were many, many sites like this, and then the Cultural Center sign. Your picture's just a little bit out of order. That's the beginning of the Culture Institute.
Okay, what we saw priorly.
Yeah. Yep. This is the Sky Lounge.
Sky Lounge.
Yeah.
It's located in the aft of the ship.
Yes, this was really cool because in the morning they would have this set up for breakfast buffet. You can also go into the dining room for breakfast, which was my preference. But this was here for people that got up super early and wanted to be able to get something to eat. And then later in the day, all of the breakfast buffet was cleared, and there were other snacks like chips and other things that you could even grab to take to your room. Plates of cookies were out. And on the far left, there's a little refrigerator which had cold water and sodas. And then there was like a bottle of white wine in the fridge that you could grab if you wanted. And on top of the counter, there would be coffee and and water and other drinks available, bottle of red. So it was just sort of felt like being in your own living room. If you wanted to walk over there and get a snack or have a glass of wine anytime, you just went and did that. This is the tour for Multnomah Falls, which I've heard about my whole life. So I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. Most people just walk up to that bridge you see on the left. There were some weddings that had been taking place up there as well. We continued on to the top, which is just about a mile, but it's fairly steep, and you can see over our heads some of the waterfall there.
What is this mountain trail?
That's the trail that goes up from the street level, river level, up to Multnomah Falls, which is a very famous.
Is that worth it?
What's that?
Is that worth taking?
Yes.
Walking?
I recommend it, even though I had to stop on a few switchbacks. It's not that far. It's worth it. 100% worth it. We had plenty of time to get up there and back without being stressed for time. That's just more pictures of Multnomah Falls from the top. This is the 4th of July. We were in Hood River that day, and we were not staying, but they did let us stay long enough to see the fireworks show that was going on. And then we had a special 4th of July menu that day for lunch. And of course the entire ship is decorated in American colors, American pride. So it was really perfect to have all of that going on. It was a great day.
I understand this was in the Hood River?
Yes, that was in Hood River. And this is where we were headed to. The port was Kalama. We went to see Mount St. Helens. This was really special for us because I lived in Idaho when Mount St. Helens blew. So the ash actually blew on my property. And my husband turned 13 on the day it blew. Even though he lived in Alabama, his sister who lived here in Montana with where I live had sent him some ash. So he had that his whole life. So for the two of us to be able to go there, we both had kind of a special memories of it. And anyone in the whole region, of course, and everybody in the States even knows about Mount St. Helens. So it was just really neat to be able to have some of that shared American history happening on this tour. I greatly appreciated that. It was really special.
When did that volcano, is that behind you? When did that blow?
Mount St. Helens blew May 18th, 1980.
Wow. So that's just a tremendous thing to visit.
Yes, it was great. These are both in Astoria. There's a fort there. Astoria is right near the mouth of the Columbia River where we came out, and there were a lot of tours there. You could really see a lot, even if you just wanted to walk around, because it's all close, like within even a few blocks, you see a lot of things. But there's tours that will take you to the movie sites, and there's tours that will take you up to this little tower that's nearby that you can walk up to if you like. So you can learn a lot more of the history of what's happened in Astoria. It's pretty interesting.
What happened to you there? It looks like you're coming out of the county jail.
No, that was a tour. That's the
Tour.
Oregon Film Museum, actually. So that jail was featured in quite a number of films that were recorded in Astoria. I took a picture of this in the Maritime Museum, which is right at the port. You walk off the ship and you can walk into that port. And it was really neat because they talked about how there's this big sandbar that builds at the mouth of the river. And this is like the most dangerous place in the world where the river meets the ocean. They have sometimes up to 40-foot waves. There's this big sandbar where a lot of ships had sunk, like 2,000, I think they said ships had sunk there. And so when we were there that day, they had these ships that were lined up in the mouth of the river waiting to go out, who had come in for safety and just were waiting for their kind of turn to get to go in and out. And they have a pilot that comes onto your boat. Not our boat, but the ships that are going in and out of the mouth of the river. They have a pilot that brings them in and a pilot that takes them out. So that was interesting.
So, Cindy, what do you, Christen, she's our, one of our persons here, VIPs to American Cruise Line. What do you have to say about this so far?
Oh, I think it's great. I've done the program myself. It's really a beautiful area of our country, and I'd love to go back. I've done it just one time, but it's one of our most popular itineraries. And
thank you.
Yeah,
I have my own brother that went on it, that sailed on that cruise just last year, and they loved it too. Let me ask you another question. How many people come from other countries, like besides North America? Do we have people coming abroad to go on these cruises?
We do. It's growing now more than ever, of course. We get from the British, we get Australian, New Zealanders, We get some from Germany, more and more. In fact, I just talked to someone yesterday that is bringing groups really from all over. It is English speaking only on board. So if we do have groups with another language, they bring their own guide, but we really don't get that very often. But yeah,
Okay, well,
popular. I mean, and that in 26 we're celebrating our 250th birthday for America. So now more than ever, people are going to start coming into the United States to see and learn our history, because we're going everywhere else and learning their history, and we have so much right here. So it's just getting bigger. In fact, for the Columbian snake, we're building 3 new ships for the Columbian snake. So
okay, it's to me, because I sell river cruises in Europe, so we go over to Europe to go on river cruises. I would think the market would be increasing, where more people from abroad are going to come over. And how many ships are you going to have eventually?
We're going to have close to 30 ships.
And how many did you have just a couple years ago?
Well, we've been building them now for the last 6 years, but we're putting out about 3 ships a year.
That's amazing. A lot of the cruise lines, during the pandemic, everything's just, kind of not been as well as it was before. But even years ago, you've been planning. You keep building and building and building. Yeah,
because the demand is there.
Wow.
The demand is there. It's once
Thanks
people
so much.
discover how great way it is to see the United States, they
Absolutely
book again. So.
Okay. Oh, Shelley, sorry about that, but could you continue here?
Yeah, that's okay. This is Zach. I don't know what his official title was, but he did everything and was everywhere. I mean, even on that last switchback hiking up to Multnomah Falls, there he was, passing me quickly to head to the top to see if anybody needed, brought back down or checked on. I saw him at the Future Cruise desk before. He was just generally everywhere on the ship all the time and so helpful. Very sweet man.
They're very, they work hard and they're very friendly, aren't they?
Yes, it felt like a lot like family, like just seeing even their interactions with each other. I mean, I have been on a lot of ships of a lot of sizes. This is the first time I'd ever been on American Cruise Lines, and it was really neat to see the interactions even with the staff with each other. They're obviously all very close, and they've been working together for some period of time beyond the day. It was pretty impressive, actually.
Awesome.
Over on the right, you can see our lobster dinner from the last night. And then this is back in the Maritime Museum. There was a mocked up boat, so you could take your turn trying to steer.
Wait a minute, you're piloting the American cruise ship? I mean, do you have a pilot's license, or how does this work?
Right after I excused the captain, I took over, and there we are, inside of a building.
Oh, this is a museum.
It's a museum, right in the store.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me today, Ted, and thank you, Shelley, for your presentation. And thank you for joining us today. I know that if you choose one of our programs, you'll absolutely love it.